Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please do subscribe my channel if you haven't done so. So in this video tutorial we are going to see what software testing is and other aspects of software testing. I'm going to cover some topics like what is software testing, importance of software testing, SDLC model, type of software testing levels, methods of software testing documentation, and difference between verification versus validation. So basically, let us understand what is software testing. We have seen that there are sometimes issues coming in any website or maybe any application because of which we are not able to perform any function. It does happen in production environment also sometimes, and we are facing certain glitches within that application or website. So why these issues are coming? Why we were not able to resolve that issue? So maybe sometime because of some miscommunication or maybe some gap in requirement, these kind of issues are coming. And to minimize these kind of issues, we are doing software testing. If we go by the definition, software testing is a process to evaluate the functionality of a software application with an intent to find whether the developed software met the specified requirement or not, and to identify the defects to ensure that the product is defect free in order to produce the quality product. So once we are doing software testing, what we are achieving with these and what we are evaluating the during the software testing. So basically we evaluate that the requirements that guided its design and development are met, responds correctly to all kind of inputs. So with all kinds of input, maybe you can say that whatever input is given, if I am entering number in the keypad, then it should enter number. So these kind of things, performs its function within an acceptable time. So this is like it's not taking any functionality to take lot of time, or maybe the app is not slow. These kind of things is sufficiently usable. So if anyone wants to use the application, he should not have that much difficulty in using that application. It should be having some good UI UX and usability aspect. And any user who is our a prime user, you can say that he should be able to use the app without any difficulty. It can be installed and run in its intended environment. So for example, I want to run my website on Chrome, then it should be able to work fine on Chrome browser. Apart from that, if we are supporting Firefox or any other browser, it should be working fine on that. Achieve the general result it is to stakeholders desire. So maybe if the stakeholder wants something in the application, that should be like working good, and it should be like this, then it should be as per the expectations of the stakeholders. A login button should only log in, or maybe if I am booking any flight, it should be able to book flight from anywhere. And if the stakeholders want to make the payment of the flight in different currency, then it should be able to make the payment in different currencies. So importance of software testing. Basically, software testing brings in lots of customer satisfaction, uh, and it also saves money, and the product quality of the application is also like very good. So if I am a user, I'm using any website or any application, and if the product quality is not good, I'm not going to come back to that application or to that website. So definitely it is going to cause loss in terms of remuneration to the organization, and also the customer satisfaction level will be very low. And even you also know, like if you are using any application or any website, and if it is too slow, you are going to go to the competitor's website and you are going to purchase your product or do whatever you want on their website. So it's like causing revenue loss to the organization itself. Apart from that, if we are not doing good software testing, then it can cause failure. And there are some great failure stories which I have attached in the links. You can just go through it and see. So basically, if we are not properly doing software testing, that it can cause failure cost. And it has been estimated by undo.io that the total value of salary spent fixing failing tests annually is around $61 billion, and the total of developer hours a year wasted on debugging software failure is around 620 million. Apart from that, the total in enterprise value lost for shareholders a year is around 1.2 trillion. So you see, like, if any application is failing, then what is the total cost of the failing application, and how much revenue the enterprise is losing because of cost failure. So in order to minimize these things, we are doing software testing so that we are not recurring any cost, and the end user are able to do their work on the application or the website as intended. So when we talk about software testing, we also talk about SDLC model. So basically, SDLC stands for Software Development Lifecycle Model. In this model, the starting phase of the application or website that we are building, in that there are certain phases which is like requirement analysis, design, implementation, testing, evolution. So in requirement analysis, whatever the product is, we analyze the requirement and we analyze what all functionality should be there, how we can achieve those functionalities, maybe in terms of user perspective, maybe in terms of technical aspect. So all the requirements are gathered and grooming is done so that we are having a clear vision what the product is all about. In the second phase, we are designing. So in designing, we are creating mocks and other, you can say, we are creating mocks and other designs, you can say wireframes and other stuff, so that how the application will look in real time, and how the usability of the product will be. The third phase is implementation. This is where the real technical stuff starts, and the developers code, and the stakeholders are carefully reviewing that what we are implementing, the developers are implementing. And once the implementation is done, it goes into testing phase. So this is the tutorial that we are going to talk about. So in the testing phase, how we are testing, what is the impact of testing, what if we are not testing correctly, what will go wrong, and how the end user can get impacted. Once testing is done and everything is looking good, and tester has given sign off, we go into the evolution phase. So in this phase, like, the new changes are coming in, and with the new requirement changes, what we call RC, the requirement is analyzed again, and then the whole loops continues again and again. So it's like an a never ending process where we are designing the software application. So let's talk about software testing lifecycle model. So basically, when we are testing any application, there are certain steps which need to be followed. Some of these steps are like requirement analysis, test planning, test case development, test environment setup, test execution, and test closure. In requirement analysis, the testers analyze the requirement, what is the requirement all about. They raise question like how if it is like this, if we are going to improve anything in that requirement, or if there is any gap in the requirement. We analyze all these things, and then we make a very clear understanding of what the requirement will be like. In test planning, the different aspect of resources are taking into consideration, that how we are going to test, on what system we are going to test, on what platform we are going to test, how many resources are going to work on that, what is the criteria, entry and exit criteria of testing, and other aspects. In test case development, we are designing the test cases. Like if we follow, if you have seen like how test cases are, we are designing all the test cases against the requirement. Say for example, the requirement is for login, then we are going to design the test cases for login, uh, with n number of cases, positive cases, negative test cases, and it will be peer reviewed by every tester or maybe any other stakeholder, uh, to give thumbs up that okay, this test case for this requirement is looking good. In the next step, we are setting up the test environment, where if we want to test anything, then that environment should be good. All the test data are created, and we are having a close look over how everything will be working on. So in test environment, maybe if I want to test in Chrome, I should have all the Chrome versions on which I want to test. And if I need any, if I have any dependencies, then I will be looking into the dependencies, and I will be sure that before I am starting execution, I have everything ready. So in test execution, I am executing the test case that has been developed previously against the functionality. And in test closure, so basically it is a sign off that whatever has been tested, it is working fine as per the requirement, and there is no major issue within the application which needs to be closed or which needs to be fixed before the closure. So the final sign off is given in test closure, and relevant stakeholders give sign off. The major one is given by the tester itself, that there is no critical bug within the system. So there are different types of software testing. One is functional testing, one is non-functional testing. In functional testing, there is unit testing, which is done by the developer, integration testing, which is done by the tester. Basically, it involves testing all the components together to perform integration testing. So in interface testing, we see that all the API and database which are communicating are working fine as per the desired output. System testing means testing the whole application in any system within any environment, so that we are able to say that whatever the application is about, it is working fine on that particular environment. System testing is conducted on a complete integrated system to evaluate the system compliance with its specified requirement. A regression testing is if any requirement change came in and we have done that requirement, or any new functionality has been added, then we perform regression in the old test cases on the old functionalities that has been created, in order to make sure that nothing is breaking. User acceptance testing is done by the end, not end users. User acceptance testing is done by the stakeholders, so that they are giving the acceptance, okay, the functionality that we wanted, it is according as per the requirement, and it is good to go live. Non-functional testing, it involves documentation testing. It is like reviewing the test cases and test strategies and test planning. Installation testing, so basically this is like if I'm testing any application, say mobile application or web application, then for example, I'm testing mobile application. If I am having any app on my mobile and I'm trying to install a new version of the application, so that application should work fine. Or maybe I am having any Windows application or Mac application I'm installing on any system, it should install fine, the installation should not fail. Then we have reliability testing. Reliability testing is to see that whatever has been designed, it is reliable. And security testing, it is to see the concern that there is no data leakage or any kind of data breach that can happen because of the application if it has not been handled correctly. So all the valuable information that the application is taking from the user, it should not get leaked. Apart from that, in security testing, we also see that uh, the application is very robust and it is very hard to break by the hackers. In performance testing, we do load testing, stress testing, scalability testing, and volume testing. So basically, these kind of testings are non-functional testing. In load testing, we input the load on any particular system to see when it is going to break. In stress, it is the load over an extended period of time, that after what time, say for example, if the uh, performance of the application is like it can handle 10 user, so at till what time it can handle 10 user, 5 seconds, 6 seconds, 10 seconds, it is we are doing stress testing on that. Scalability testing is like how much scalable our system is. So basically in volume testing, we check the performance of the system with increased volume of data in the database. For example, if you want to volume test an application with a specific database size, expand your database to that size by adding more data in the database to increase the capacity and then perform the test. So there are certain levels of software testing. One of the level is unit testing, the second is integration testing, then system testing, and then acceptance testing. So unit testing is basically written by the developers. In unit testing, we test individual components. Integration testing is done by the tester. So all the components that have been created, they are integrated together, and then we are performing integration testing. System testing is like what I said, that once everything has been integrated, then we are testing the whole application on one particular system. So if I want to make sure that on Windows system my application is working fine, I will test that application on Windows. And then acceptance testing is the final requirement that was given by the stakeholder. Is it intended? Is it working like how it was supposed to be? That is done by the end stakeholders, and it is the final system which is being done, final test which is being done in the final system. So there are certain methods of software testing. One of the method is black box testing, white box testing, and gray box testing. In black box testings, the technique of testing without having any knowledge of the interior working of the application is called black box testing. So in black box testing, methods include equivalence partitioning, boundary value analysis, all pairs testing, state transition tables, decision table, fuzz testing, model based testing, use case testing, exploratory testing, and specification based testing. White box testing is the detailed investigation of the internal logic and structure of the code. White box testing can be applied at the unit, integration, and system level of the software testing process. It is usually done at the unit level. And then there is one last type of testing method, gray box. So the tester will often have access to both source code and executable binary. Gray box testing may also include reverse engineering using dynamic code analysis to determine, for instance, boundary values or error messages. So there are certain documentation that we need to design in software testing lifecycle phase. So the documents are like test scenarios, test template, reports, test cases, test data, test plan, and we also need to review these documents. So basically, test scenario is like login functionality. If I talk about test scenario, it is given a generic example like login functionality, and how we are going to design different type of scenarios. It depends on the requirement of the functionality that will be added. Then test template is like the template of the test cases. So if I want to have the template of like how particular functionality will look like, then I need to design the test template. Then test plan, it is basically from the test scenarios we create from the test scenarios we create test cases. So if for login functionality, I will have uh, test cases like the user is entering correct username, and correct password, the user is entering correct username and wrong password, the user is entering wrong username and correct password. So these kind of test cases we are going to design. In test plan we are going to see how we are going to utilize the resources and how we are going to perform the testing, what kind of testing is going to be performed, on what system we are going to perform these, how many browsers we are going to support. So test plan contains these kind of things. Test data, in order to perform any testing, if we need any test data we are going to create that. Say for example, I need to have some test data for username and password. I need to have some users beforehand so that I'm able to perform the testing on the application. Reports are basically the number of test cases that have been passed and that have failed, and maybe some test cases which are not applicable, any major issue that is coming, we are adding that in the reports. So before these things are done, these documents are carefully reviewed by the peers or maybe other stakeholders, so that if any issue is coming on the static analysis of the requirement, we are improving the document, and then we are performing the desired work on that particular document. So difference between verification versus validation. So validation is the assurance that a product, service or system meets the need of the customer and other identified stakeholders. It often involves acceptance and suitability with external customers, contrast with verification. So verification, the evaluation of whether or not a product, service or system complies with a regulation, requirement, specification or imposed condition. It is often an internal process. Contrast with validation. One is the verification of the document and then one is the validation of the product, so that we are aligned together and we are making the correct product altogether. Bug life cycle. So if we tested any functionality, say for example in login functionality, some of the test cases were failing, like the user was not able to log in with the correct username and correct password. So we will open a bug for that, and that bug, it will be unconfirmed first, so it will be a new bug. Developer will pick up this work, or maybe I can assign this, or any developer internally can assign themselves, and then they will be going into the fixing process of the bug. And once the bug is resolved, they are going to be verified by the tester, and if the tester says okay, this is working fine, then the bug is closed. But if the developer has fixed the bug and the tester is not satisfied and maybe the issue is not working as expected, then the bug will be reopened and it will be assigned back to the development team. So this is the whole process of software testing life cycle, in which we are not, sorry, software testing life cycle, but bug life cycle, in which we are taking care like how we are going to test the application issue which is coming in, and if it is getting fixed or not. If it is not getting fixed, it will go back to the developer, and if it is fixed, the tester will verify and then close the bug. So in the resolved section there can be different condition, like it's fixed or maybe it is duplicate, the bug was already reported previously, or maybe because of some constraint we are not able to fix the bug, it will be marked won't fix. So likewise there are number of possible resolution for the issues. So let's come to the salary of the tester. Basically, a testers earn 123.15 dollar per year. Average tester salary is quite good, and it is a big number. Give a thumbs up to my video and do subscribe my channel if you like my video. I will keep posting new videos as soon as possible.